Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lingjun Movie. Today, I'm going to continue on the stories of Liaozhai Zhiyi. Lord Wang had a son called Wang Yuanfeng. This boy was quite handsome, finely developed in figure but was still mentally immature, behaving like a little child. Although he was at the age of getting married, he was still single. Because whether it was a girl from a wealthy family or an ordinary one would not be willing to marry a retarded man. His mother had been so worried about her son's marriage. But one day, a countrywoman showed up and said that she would marry her daughter Xiao Cui to Yuanfeng. That girl was pretty and elegant, with a wonderful smile on her rosy cheeks, just like a fairy. Lord Wang and his wife were very satisfied with her and set the bride price on the spot. Yuanfeng was also very fond of his new bride, following her everywhere she went. On their wedding day, many friends of Lord Wang's in the court came to congratulate the new couple. Those ladies who despised Yuanfeng ridiculed that the Wang family chose the daughter of a beggar as their daughter-in-law. When Xiao Cui moved the red covering and exposed her beautiful face, those who were sneering were all stunned and speechless. Xiao Cui was 16 years old at the age of being vivacious and playful. Unlike those ordinary, ladylike, elegant women, she played around and ran around with Yuanfeng every day happily, and with such exercise Yuanfeng had his legs and feet more flexible. But Lord Wang didn't see through it, and what he saw was that Xiao Cui misbehaved not in the manner of a decent lady from an official family. Lord Wang had a deadly foe in the court, Lord Gaijian, who was always trying to set Lord Wang up in front of the emperor. Lord Wang was very annoyed and so exhausted with the occasional underhand tricks. Every time when complaining about it to his wife, he gritted his teeth with hatred. Xiao Cui outside the door overheard the difficult situation of her father-in-law, so she came up with a plan. She pretended to be the prime minister with her maid while it was dark and took a sedan to visit Lord Wang's house. In this way, Lord Gaijian would know that Lord Wang was appreciated by the prime minister and would not dare to plot against Lord Wang ever again. However, pretending to be court officials was a serious crime that would even implicated the whole clan. Lord Wang and his wife Mrs. Wang didn't understand Xiao Cui's kind intentions. They were angry at her and punished her. Although Xiao Cui's plan was very risky, it worked very well. From then on, Gaijian really didn't dare to frame Lord Wang anymore. Instead, he tried to please the prime minister by fawning over Lord Wang. It was at the time of imperial examinations. Many young masters from wealthy families took the opportunity to bribe Lord Gaijian. Gaijian, who loved money more than anything in his life, took their bribes happily. And he also shared some of them with Lord Wang, hoping that Lord Wang could speak nice things about him in front of the prime minister. Lord Wang was an upright and honest official, so he stayed in his chamber and refused to see him. While waiting, Gaijian accidentally saw Yuanfeng playing in an imperial robe. That was a gross disrespectful act of treason to the emperor. Gaijian took off the dragon robe Yuanfeng wore when playing and went into the royal palace to slander Lord Wang, saying that he was intended to rebel. The emperor became furious when he learned of this. But when he met Yuanfeng in person, he only found the kid was naive and simple. He soon gathered that this kid would have no intentions of rebellion. In addition, other courtiers also pleaded for Lord Wang, so the emperor pardoned Yuanfeng's unintentional fault. Lord Gaijian saw that this plan was failed, so he continued to slander Xiao Cui, saying that Lord Wang's daughter-in-law was a devil. Fortunately, Lord Wang had always been kind and decent, so he had many friends. Many people who knew his personality pleaded for him. Instead, they exposed Gaijian's conducts of bribery and slander. And the emperor saw that Gaijian was full of nonsense and just would not get off Lord Wang's back. He banished him to the borderland Yunnan in a rage. After this incident, Lord Wang and his wife also reflected on whether they had been too harsh on Xiao Cui. Just as they regretted, they heard that Xiao Cui had cooked Yuanfeng. Yuanfeng laid pale as if he was dead. When Lord Wang and Mrs. Wang were weeping in sadness, Yuanfeng woke up slowly. At this time, his eyes were clear and his silly spirits were completely gone. Lord Wang and Mrs. Wang cried with joy when they found Yuanfeng intelligent. Since then, Xiao Cui and Yuanfeng, one being beautiful and the other being charming and romantic, seemed to be more affectionate couple than before. The two visited the garden together, enjoyed flowers, chanted poems every day, living harmonious and carefree as if in a fairyland. But Xiao Cui was found in a gloomy occasionally in her spare time. Yuan Feng thought she missed her mother, but Xiao Cui said ruefully that when her mother came, she would have to leave. Yuan Feng thought she was going back to visit her hometown, and joked that he would also go with her, but he did not notice the deep sadness in Xiao Cui's eyes. The night after Yuan Feng fell asleep, Xiao Cui's mother did appeared suddenly like a fairy. It turned out that they were not devils, but fox fairies. Xiao Cui came to Wang's house to pay back a favor for her mother. 10 years ago, Lord Wang saved Xiao Cui's mother's life. So Xiao Cui cured Yuan Feng's madness in return. Now that Yuan Feng had got all right, it was time for her to leave. But how can affection be offset by kindness? Xiao Cui had fallen in love with Yuan Feng deeply at this time. They had mutual affinity, loving each other till death would they apart. If she left halfway, how could Yuan Feng go on without her? The fox mother was moved by her daughter's tearful plea, so she allowed her to stay in Wang's house. One night, Lord Wang and Mrs. Wang were scared to faint when a female monster suddenly appeared outside their window. Everyone thought that this monster was Xiao Cui and also invited a Taoist to conduct some religious rites to expel her. To spare herself from suspicions, Xiao Cui personally caught the person who was pretending to be the monster. It was still Lord Geijian, who just won't let go, and wrote to ask the servants of the Wang family to avenge him bringing such a mess. After the farce ended, Xiao Cui and Yuan Feng were back to their peaceful happy days. On this day, Yuan Feng picked a bunch of flowers for Xiao Cui. The beautiful flowers were in full bloom, and only a good vase would be worthy of their beauty. Yuan Feng regarded Xiao Cui as a treasure, so he immediately took out the vase given by the emperor at Wang's house. But Xiao Cui accidentally broke the vase after she got it. Lord Wang was so furious to know it, and he scolded her severely, completely forgetting the great many favors that Xiao Cui had done to them before. Xiao Cui was disappointed and hurt so much when listening to their merciless insults. So she ran out crying. Yuan Feng thought that his parents were so cruel, and accused them of ungratefulness. At this time, Xiao Cui's mother appeared in the silvery light. She waved the horsetail whisk a few times, and the broken vase was restored miraculously. Lord Wang now remembered the fox he had rescued about 10 years ago. Could it be that Xiao Cui was really a fox fairy to repay his kindness? Xiao Cui also understood what her mother meant by, "You will leave sooner or later. People can't accompany monster, and they shall walk different paths." She and Yuan Feng can't live together after all. She could only said goodbye to him, and then disappeared. Yuan Feng was reluctant to let Xiao Cui to leave like that, so he looked for his beloved wife day and night in everywhere, and finally found her in a fairyland-like place. The two who hadn't seen each other for a long time stared at each other and wept. In order to let Yuan Feng spend the rest of his life happily, Xiao Cui told him to go back and prepare to get married. Yuan Feng was unwilling to do so. He didn't want to marry anyone except Xiao Cui. Xiao Cui told him that the girl he was going to marry was still Xiao Cui, and then she let Yuan Feng go home. 3 days later, the Wang family held another lively wedding banquet. Yuan Feng unwillingly removed the bride's red veil, and only after finding that it was Xiao Cui did he smile. At this time, the real fox fairy Xiao Cui came to the Wang's house in stealth. After seeing Yuan Feng got happily married, she left with great relief. At the beginning, she was transformed into a person based on the appearance of the girl Xiao Cui. Now it was predestined fate of marriage for the ordinary woman Xiao Cui to marry Yuan Feng. People and fox fairies were unable to live a lifetime together anyway. As long as Yuan Feng was happy, she would feel at ease. When people see a monster, they either kneel down and beg for mercy in horror or shout to kill, regardless of whether it is good or evil. Sometimes, you don't know which one is more hateful, the man or the monster. Xiao Cui was affectionate and righteous, decisive, bold in action, and innocent. She saved the Wang family and Yuan Feng, and even watched Yuan Feng marrying another woman, just to make him happy. Is such a fairy-like girl that people called monster good or evil? Lord Wang received others' help and kindness, but he never learned to repay the favors. Instead, he firmly believed that the girl that helped him was a demon. Is such a person good or evil? The prejudice in one's mind is just like a huge mountain that is hard to move. Only when one is willing to remove it, he or she can broaden horizons and seize the facts. Maybe the ending of the movie is happy for Yuan Feng, but it's unfortunate for Xiao Cui. However, her love is not like those of ordinaries, but the great love of sacrifice. After all, happiness for one is better than misery for two. Well, that's all for today's movie. Welcome to leave a comment below sharing your view with me, and it will be appreciated for you to give me a like if you love my videos, and you could also subscribe to the channel for more updates. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.